Lyft, top and first quarter earnings expectations. The rideshare company highlighting record first quarter gross bookings. Lyft also lifting its share repurchase program to $750 million. Rohit Kulkarni, Roth MKM Managing Director, Senior Research Analyst, joins us now to discuss. Rohit, always good to see you. So Lyft reports that stock is rallying in the after hours. Walk us through your reaction, your response to what that report said, Rohit.
Hey, thanks, Josh. I think after Uber reported, after Dash reported, I think the expectations for Lyft were not that heroic in a way that people were a little bit cautious. I was a little bit cautious in a way that perhaps second quarter guidance is something that they may not be able to provide that would be very encouraging. What is the biggest positive in all of this is the number of rides. The number of rides that people take on Lyft, that's the actual kind of a metric that we track outside of bookings, outside of revenue. And that is probably the healthiest we have seen in a while, both in 1Q and both what they expect in 2Q, mid-teens growth. So I feel the moment kind of the marketplace starts to function very well, rides grow, and that's what we are seeing in Lyft.
Rohit, the conference call is going to start shortly here, 5 p.m. Eastern. If you had the chance to ask an executive a question or two, what would be top of mind for you?
Again, it's the obligatory question about how have trends changed in March and April as compared to what your normal patterns have been. That's your tariff question, macro question, whatnot. Leaving that aside, I think what I would love to learn is how sustainable is the current growth, and with all the new products, the new drivers that you have on the platform, how confident do they feel into the second half of this year that they can sustain this mid-teens growth rate, which then would imply that Lyft is probably a profitable company for the first time in the history of Lyft.
Now, Rohit, though, you're still neutral on this name. So walk us through, why are you still on the sidelines, and what would you need to see before getting more bullish?
I think from a ratings perspective and a stock call perspective, I think what we need to see is, again, baby steps which are very consistent. I think this is the first time in quite a while, to be honest, Josh, that Lyft has reported 2 quarters that have been consistent, which is a positive step in the right direction. Unfortunately, as a small company, as a company that does not decide the price of its service, it tends to have extreme volatility. So you may have one good quarter, second bad quarter, third good quarter. So there is no consistency. So for us to have a more medium to long-term conviction in the stock, in the company, I think we just need consistency. And I think we are starting to see signs of that.
What about their recent decision, Rohit? They announced this decision to acquire FreeNow, which would give them a foothold in Europe. Did you like that decision, Rohit, strategically and financially?
It remains to be seen. As in, I think it feels that acquisitions is the next leg in growth for almost every company like Uber, like DoorDash, like Lyft. Uber acquired a company in Turkey. DoorDash acquired a couple of companies recently, and Lyft is doing the same. So I feel there is now these companies are at a point where they are profitable enough. They are generating sufficient amount of cash, and now they can start to do consolidation. Lyft has always been 90% US, 10% Canada, and now I think they feel that there are pockets in Europe that they can be a number 2, number 3 player behind Uber to start to grow that addressable market. So its verdict still out. We like the acquisition, but how they execute on it remains to be seen.
You know, Rohit, David Risher became CEO in April 2023, so 2 years on the job now. You've covered this company, you know this company. I'm just curious to get your take, of the job he's done.
I would give him 4 out of 5 stars. By that, what I mean is, I think he has turned around the company and has created a narrative amongst investors in a way that is extremely encouraging. Now, the proof would be in the numbers that they put up on a quarter-over-quarter basis. But overall, from a cost structure, from a product, from an execution, from operations, and overall from a narrative standpoint, I think he has done a fantastic job. Now, all we need to see is consistent execution. Last 2 years have been almost like preparing for the moment of today or over the next 6 months. Hopefully, they can execute on what they have built in the last 2 years.